Welcome back to the Silver Lantern Archives. Today we continue on with Horrors from the Depth. Most of our party has been washed away, but for those that remain, there's still much to be done as the ship is in pretty bad condition. But as for how it got that way, well, I'll let them tell you. What y'all got for me this week?
Creatures from the deep.
Horrors, if you will.
Horrors, if you will, yes. We got attacked by a bunch of merfolk, I'm guessing. Didn't really get a good look at their bodies since they were pretty much mostly murdering me. And then we fought a giant sea serpent, and they all kind of knocked people off the ship, heavily damaged our ship, but in the end we ended up killing them. No one died. Knock on wood. And
it just retreated.
Yeah, it just retreated. But we're now on a heavily damaged ship with half of our crew out in the ocean. So
Yeah, there were
some sailors died.
But none of the main part.
But yeah, some side characters died, but none of the main party did. That we know of.
We are going to first return to, or go ahead and take your hero point, my friend. We are going to return to Sandow and Christopher.
All right. Okay.
What do the two of you do?
So, Sandow's going to do a little head count in this row of, or this level of the ship and the bottom level. And then he's going to see, all right, okay, this is bad, but not too bad. I'm going to get a head count of everyone upstairs. Hopefully they fared better than us, right? And then he's going to walk downstairs and then upstairs.
You see there's a small handful of sailors still downstairs dealing with bodies, attempting to figure out what to do with the massive hole in the bottom of the boat. Slifer has been pulled up into one of the beds just so they're not taking up space for everybody, because they are unconscious. You'll have like a total of, out of a crew of maybe 20, there's only 5 sailors left.
Ooh. Damn. That's not good.
Liam is also unconscious, leaving just Wisp down there with you. Wisp and Loki.
Wisp, I'm going to check if anyone upstairs is all right. And if so, probably get some ideas on plugging that hole. Thinking about smashing some boxes in order to get some wood for that.
You'll need Liam.
Isn't Liam unconscious?
Yes, but he's also the one that is trained with fixing. He is the caretaker for the boat.
All right. I'll get some seawater and splash it in his face. I've heard that works to bring people out of unconsciousness.
He is
Christopher
attempting...
hears this.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Christopher hears you say that from around the corner, just kind of slightly coughing up blood right now. You know, I heard that you just have to put their left hand in warm water. It's not splashing on their face.
But how are we going to get warm water here? In the cold depths?
I mean, True. Good point.
I appreciate your wisdom. Alright, I'm going to go upstairs first.
There. Feel free to move as you will.
Do I go up?
If you're going upstairs, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go. That's That's not good.
You see the deck is now completely devoid of people.
What about the quartermaster?
She's not technically on the deck. She's up on the quarter deck, but you can't see her from where you're standing.
Okay. I'm gonna check for the captain.
Last you saw them was at the front of the ship.
Alright, I'm gonna go up here.
Do note there's a hole right there.
There's a hole?
Yes, as that's where
Oh,
the creature
yeah.
attacked. So you need to go up the other staircase.
Ah.
You do see the spiritual weapon left by Arcane still floating in the air. After about a minute, it dissolves, disappears.
Okay.
The magic
I'm going to
On the
look
plus
around.
side, that means Arcane's still alive.
Not necessarily. It's not a concentration spell.
Don't
I'm going to
ruin
look
it.
around the sides of the ship, see if I could spot anybody.
You
I'm
see,
gonna do the same thing.
the seas are still pretty rough, and y'all are getting jostled around a good bit. But you don't see anybody floating around. You
Dang.
see large sections of wood getting tossed in the sea. And can I get a perception check from... Actually, no, I'll just use your passage. You're good, and you're good. Well, yeah, you both have the same. Y'all hear at the last second a massive crack as the mid-mast snaps and tumbles into the ocean, crashing off to the left of the ship, which is the port side, I think.
Do we have any lifeboats?
You did. They were on the top
Okay.
deck. They are not there anymore.
Alrighty. I'm going to go downstairs again. Trying to find my thing. Yeah, I'm going to go downstairs.
Fair.
We're trying to navigate right now. Is where am I? I've disappeared from. Oh, there. Okay. All right. So, bad news, Wisp. I don't think that the boat's really gonna make it. The main mast or center mast just fell down.
How many do we have left?
Do we have any options?
You can see he has his hand pressed against the wall and is muttering a consistent chant under his breath.
We have 5 left by my count.
There's a nod.
Okay. What do you suggest we do?
We'll need to patch up anything we can. Just put as much as we can over it so we can walk across. The magic should be able to hold for a while. The Slifer is going to be in charge if the others are gone.
All right. We'll get to work patching. And then I'm going to go downstairs and start patching things up.
Okay. Christopher, you see Loki come padding up onto the deck looking for Fenrir.
Hey Loki, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna use minor illusion because I'm still probably over here coughing up blood because I'm really messed up. To have my voice, the sound of my voice screaming, if anyone is out in the water right now, do your best to let us know. And that's just going to be going on repeat for a minute.
Okay.
So people will be able to try to hear us and possibly let us know where they're at out in the water.
You see Loki's doing some sniffer snorfs over here. He looks like a sad pooch.
I'm gonna kneel down and pet Loki on the head and be like, "It's okay. We'll get him back."
He looks up at you with these sad puppy dog eyes.
Do I have? Never mind. Can't give him a treat.
But he ends up going up here, not seeing him. And then going to the quarterdeck. And are you following him around?
Captain, you're still. Yeah. I guess I see the captain at this point as I'm walking up the stairs.
The quartermaster, not the captain.
Quartermaster, sorry.
You see,
No, but glad to
is
see that you're still
currently
here at least.
down against the final mast, still standing, bandaging her side. As you see, it is thick, or coated with thick blood. Hi, it's good to see you as well. Too many got knocked off the side. Who do we have left?
You have. I know there's Sandow, Loki, myself, and I think we saw 5 other sailors underneath, but that's it right now. Oh, we also have drawing a blank on their names right now.
With
3 other
Liam
members of
and
the
Siren.
crew. Yeah, those 3. Pretend as if I said that out of my character's mouth.
Good. If we manage to keep Liam up, we'll be able to get the boat working again if we can make it to an island.
Yeah,
We'll still be
Liam's
able to find
currently unconscious. Sandow's said he was going to try to wake him up by splashing water on his face, but I don't know how well that's going to go.
You see, she's going to push herself. She's going to struggle to push herself back to her feet and put a hand on the wheel. I'll keep us in line. If you can get any
Okay.
of those holes covered. Wisp will keep the barriers up, so we're not going to sink yet. But he's going to run out of magic eventually.
Understood. I go to head downstairs, start trying to help patch up the stuff.
Wisp stays on the higher floor. Not Wisp, Loki. So the two of you are working to repair the ship, get it patched up as well as you can. But with the materials on board, there's not a lot you can do. You can kind of get it covered, but not well. It's only the magic holding on. And in the following days, there are no survivors that are picked back up. And y'all realize just how bad of a state the ship is in at this point. As the hold was severely damaged, as much of y'all's food stores was also destroyed, along with a lot of the weapons. In this time,
Sorry for all the coughing today, by the way.
you're fine. Slifer has gotten back up and has been working with the quartermaster to figure out their next plan of action. Usually it would be Wisp that would have led the navigation, but he is full-time keeping the ship afloat, while Liam is doing whatever he can to assist, as in these last few days it has been he just doesn't have the material to fix everything. Yeah, and in the 2 days it's been since, at least for them, they've managed to long rest again.
Okay.
Y'all are informed that it is unlikely, with where the storm blew y'all will be able to make it in towards the city y'all were going for. And at this point, they are unable to confirm exactly where they are, as the skies have been overcast the last few days. and y'all have not been able to get a good marker. Y'all are just looking for an island at this point. Y'all are going through the last of the rations. Y'all won't last more than a couple more days without food. You need wood. Y'all are starting to get to a tough spot.
Sandow has been trying to do spear fishing by tying a rope to the end of one of the harpoons at the bottom, and just like throwing it out into the ocean to try hit like a shark or something.
You've got some, but nothing really substantial. You're helping to extend the food you'll have, but it's still becoming a problem. Too many mouths, not enough fish in the area.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Chris?
I'm heading back up to the main deck, looking around, hoping by any miracle I can see any more of our crew in the water, even though I know they're probably long gone at this point.
It's been 2 days and no sign of any of them. But you also haven't seen corpses floating about, so there's that. After an exhaustive search through the waves as best y'all can, nothing turned anything up. It was decided between Neva and Slifer that they would look for land, hoping survivors in the area would wash ashore.
I guess at this point I'm just mumbling to myself, being like, man, I lost even more people now.
Sandow after... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Go. I was done.
Sandow, after a few days, has pretty much stopped eating in order to conserve more food.
Fair.
Yeah. Always looking down and on the lookout for any sign of life, either to eat or to save.
It's in the 4th day. And that Sandow, you don't see it at anything of note, but you do, or at least any islands on the horizon, any people, any other ships. None of it. All you see is a single seagull flying high overhead.
Oh, and then I'm going to run over to Neva and yell, "There's a seagull! There's a seagull! That means land, I think."
Yes.
Right? Is that right?
It most likely will.
If
Keep
I'm
an eye
up on
it.
I'm on the top deck, can I hear him yelling this?
Yes. The ship has been very quiet as people have been starting to fall in depressions. Them not being able to eat has been a problem. And yes, Christopher, it would have helped, but I would have just fed you for the most part. You're at day 4.
Okay. Isn't the saying that if you follow seagulls, it leads you to food, not land?
Either way, they usually don't.
Either way, that's the bonus.
The two of you manage to keep an eye on it. Neva begins leading the ship as best they can with their crippled, the crippled remains of the Siren's call, trying to follow it at a much slower pace, taking the heading from the bird, hoping against hope that they'll manage to find something. Elsewhere, however, on a sandy beach, Akane, you find yourself waking up. Or Arcane, not Arcane, sorry. Arcane, you find yourself waking up.
That's good.
What would you like to do?
Do I see anything yet?
You look around you and you find yourself standing on a sandy beach made of pink sand. And as you look up deeper into this new land you have landed on, instead of the trees or kind of foliage you would have expected, you see these great, massive mushrooms. Under which you see these kind of massive flowers starting to grow. And you smell this really... It's a heavenly scent that kind of draws you in, reminds you of fresh fruits and citruses. Your
I
bag
don't know how
is
much
gone.
you would trust that.
Your weapons are still with you, despite being soaked.
I think makes sense. I think prior to checking on any of the mushrooms and stuff, Arcane would look around to see if she sees anyone else or if it's just her.
Roll me a perception check.
Do that.
As you look around, you see just within the waves, starting to get sucked back out into the ocean, is the unconscious form of Cassie.
It's gonna run right over there saying, "Oh goodness, Cassie, oh no, I'm gonna come get you," and try and go grab Cassie and help pull her out.
It takes a little bit. In her armor, she's in light armor. So she's a little heavy, but you manage to pull her out as she's a waterlogged cat.
Am I able to look her over to see if she's all right? Is she just unconscious or?
Roll me medicine. You see most of her wounds look like they were taken in the detonation of the ship, or during the fight with the ship. You fell off beforehand, so you're not really sure what happened at the end of it, but you see chips of splinters hidden in her fur, and her fur is very matted, but no serious injuries. With some probing, you could probably make
I'm gonna try and wake her up as gently as possible. Just kind of, maybe put her, I guess it's Arcane, so she'd probably just put her head in her lap and kind of lightly pet her hair and just be like, Cassie, honey, I'm not sure what happened, but we're on a very strange beach, and I just would like you to kind of wake up for me now and just try and gently wake her up without terrifying her to where she attacks me.
Cassie, you are starting to come to.
Jeez. I'm just waking up. You'll kind of just like rub her eyes when it's just like, why the hell is my fur white? Kind of just clicks into place real quick. The last like moment she remembers before going unconscious, essentially.
You remember the feeling of drowning, being sucked off the ship and the dark waters closing around you. The clawing nature of it, getting all the water sucking down into your throat. The heavy sense of your body weakening as the cold sets in, your heavy fur dragging you down and down and down. It's a memory you probably won't ever forget, because you're not entirely sure how you survived. You remember running out of air, water filling your lungs.
I don't even know how I survived that. Am I even still alive? I should have died. She's like kind of just muttering all this to herself, so Arcane, if you want to listen in, you can.
So, I mean, you're in her lap, so yeah, she can definitely
Yeah.
hear
She's trying to just be gentle because Arcane, I think she went out first, so she didn't know much. Probably isn't thinking about it and be like, Cassie, honey, I'm not really sure what happened to us. I don't know if anyone else went over the ship or if everyone's fine. I think I went over ship pretty quickly. You're the only one I found so far, and I'm just right happy that you're okay, well as okay as you could be. Um, there's some weird stuff around us. I don't know if we should look for the others, if there are others, or if we should just rest up a bit or see what's going on here. Whatever you need.
All I know is I attacked the core of the fish and it dissipated into the water, at least striking me, possibly others with it. And from there, not too much, but Cassie will kind of get herself back. Thank you for dragging me out of the water, Arcane.
Of course.
I'm going to check if I still have any of my stuff on my person, at least my weapons.
you. Have your armor on. Your bag was down below in the ship, so you don't have that with you. And your swords were in your hands when you got sucked off the side of the ship. So they are not with you as of current.
Should probably take a look around at least. I don't know how long I'm going to defend either of us, given the fact that gestures to empty hands. I guess I still have my palms at least, worst case scenario. But Cassie's gonna at least try to look. So between north, west, and east, kind of. Well, what kind of direction is the ocean
You're not
that got pulled out
sure
on?
because you have nothing to base the directions off of because it is still very overcast. As it seems to be covered with these strange kind of purplish clouds.
Oh.
They seem to be
I shall-
rolling. You don't have sight of the moon or the sun.
That's not bad. I should at least pick one direction to go into, Arcane. Try to see if
You
I
have
can find
along the beach
anybody
to
else.
the right, along the beach to the left, or deep into the mushrooms.
I'm gonna go to the right. Do you need me to roll perception if I see anything while I'm going along that way?
Yeah. Arcane, as Cassie pushes himself to their feet and begins to stumble. Because you both start to realize, Cassie, you hear the rumble in your stomach, and you're pretty sure it's been longer than you remember it being since you were last on the ship. You're starting to feel the sense of hunger set in. Maybe a day. As you start to move along, Arcane, are you going with Cassie?
Yeah, she'll go. Okay.
As the pair of you begin to walk along the pink sandy beach, you all start to see the chipped remains of what was probably parts of the Siren's Call. Not big enough pieces to really do much of anything, but definitely parts of it. The first thing y'all come across as y'all are wondering is you find a trident. It looks like it was one of the enemy's fishmen that had jumped aboard the ship and has washed up here.
I'll probably at least grab that for now. But taking a look kind of around the wreckage and that, seeing if there's anything else, if anyone was gripping onto it while...
No, it looks like it just floated ashore somehow. The wakes of the storm pushing it along instead of letting it settle. Do y'all continue on or turn back?
Cassie's gonna look towards Arcane. I'm going to continue on if you want to come with.
Well, yes, honey. I think it's probably best that we don't separate, and maybe we'll find some more people from the ship or luck out and find something that's somewhat helpful to our current situation.
I'm just gonna kind of take the, as I said, the trident to at least kind of. I know I'm kind of stumbling a bit, just to at least help me walk a little bit more.
Here. It kind of works as a staff. It's not the best thing, but it's better than nothing. So y'all continue moving along, and it's more than an hour before y'all find anything else of note. The next thing you see is a body up underneath one of the mushroom caps. It's a tall one that stands about 20 feet tall. It's wide mushroom head, making a good shaded spot, and you can see a body underneath it.
Can we see who it is, or do
Not at this
we
distance, you'd have to approach.
Arcane would walk up to take a look who it is or what it is.
As y'all approach, y'all do recognize the individual as Fenrir. Fenrir, it seemed, managed to pull himself from the water severely injured, as the bottom half of his torso is completely wrapped in bloody bandages. He is currently unconscious.
Are we able to see if we can? So he's wrapped in bloody bandages, just unconscious. I guess could we give him a once over and see what we can do to kind of help, or like with Cassie, just try and wake him up?
You can roll medicine.
Cassie's going to take a look around, like from where they are, seeing if there's any other like footprints leading to Fenrir or around Fenrir.
Then you make me a survival check. Arcane definitely needs to get those bandages changed, as they are very bloody and very wet. But with everything else, you don't really have anything else to deal with. You can see one of the healing kits that he found laying spent next to him. Cassie, as you are looking around, you do see there is a small hoard of items. It looks like that Fenrir managed to hide after falling on, first arriving on the island. They aren't too far away from him. You can see what looks like the remains of his quiver. He has his bow, but doesn't have any arrows. You see one of your swords, which seems to have washed up with him, and a good amount of wood he pulled away for fire.
Well, I start grabbing this stuff to bring back to Arcane and them.
No,
even
it's
if
like
that
it's not
makes
very
it
far. It's like
Mhm.
10 steps away.
I'll at least put my rapier. I'm assuming I still have like the chutes attached to my gear.
The what?
The sheaths.
Yeah,
Hold
yours
on.
is still on your belt.
Okay. I'll at least put one of the rapiers like back in there. So I haven't found the other one, but I'll bring back some wood as well as Fenrir's weaponry at least to bring
His
over to
quiver
him.
and bow.
Yes, his quiver and bow.
But Arcane, will you be attempting to wake Fenrir up?
Yep. She'd do the probably same route with she did with Cassie. I think if he's hurting pretty badly, I still have one spell slot left. Could I go ahead and use Trying to decide which is a better option, if it'd be cure wounds or healing
Cure
word.
wounds will give more
on it.
magic, more healing.
Let's do some cure wounds then. If that worked. Huh?
Fenrir, you feel a sharp pain as consciousness floods back into your being. You remember just the utter pain of getting knocked off the ship, and unfortunately for you, while you were with Cassie, you were slammed into the mast, one of the fallen masts that was still swirling around under the boat, it puncturing your stomach. You vaguely remember waking on the island and attempting to bandage yourself up shortly after, but your body was weak.
Alright, he would probably open his eyes up in a shock, but once he looks around and see Arcane and Cassie right there, he'll give a little smile and say, "Did I die and go to heaven?" and get up and think, what kind of, like, use mush like a jungle this, or is it just like a mushrooms everywhere? Just mushrooms.
Just mushrooms, massive mushrooms, small mushrooms, all kinds of funguses and vines everywhere. No real trees, though.
Thank you.
A lot of flowers, too.
You said you said that I don't have any arrows, and do I have both of my short swords with me?
Which weapon did you... I think you had one of your short swords in your hand when you fell off, but I think you had your magic one, correct?
No, I dropped that, and I was just using my hands after that when I dropped
Oh, if
down
you
and
dropped it, it's
was
long
hitting
gone.
it because I had my bow. Yeah, no, I had it. I sheathed it because I had my longbow out, and then the boat was tipping over, and then I put that away, and I jumped
Okay,
into
so
it
yeah,
with,
you still have both your short swords.
and then I
then.
started. Okay, sorry to go through that. How long have you guys been walking around?
Since I woke up, probably not too long, but it seems longer than the matter of at least the day I'd been here, judging by. I'm guessing his stomach is. Well, I don't know if his stomach would be crumbling right now because, he's in a lot of pain, but
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. You said I was able to hold some stuff up, so how long have I been technically up?
You haven't really been awake, unfortunately. You managed to get on there, get out of the water, bandage yourself up, gather up at least whatever you could find nearby, and then you collapsed.
Okay, so it's only been a couple hours at best. Got it.
That
Yep.
you have
All right.
memory of. For how long you've been unconscious, you have no idea.
Got it.
Though it is brighter now than it was when you first woke up.
So it means I probably woke up in the morning and it's brighter in this with the sun in the sky.
I mean,
Yes.
when you
All right.
woke up, you were relying on dark vision. There was no light. You
Got it.
briefly
Okay,
remember
so
being
it's
able
night.
to see a sliver of a strange sky that you didn't recognize at night, but
Well, the first thing that I would probably notice is Cassie only has one sword, so it probably wouldn't stand up to your other sword, but I would give her one of my short swords, probably a regular one. And
Thank
so
you,
she could
Fenrir.
have two swords. And best thing I would say that he would do after that is either look for shelter or should we look for people, is what he would bring up to the group.
Well, I think
We
our
look out
king should
and
probably stay here, take care and tend to your wounds. At least she'll kind of like gesture to your bandages and that. I could probably still look for a while.
I look down and say,
Um,
I'm surprised my survival kicked in. I just was going off instinct. Is it even right?
you actually look up Fenrir. the mushroom in which you are sitting underneath is actually pretty sturdy. The top of it making a very good canopy to help shelter you from the rain and sun. It's not the best, but it will do better than
Okay.
like a tree where light can filter down through it.
Okay. So we're pretty good on shelter right here. Maybe starting a file.
I'll kind of just take the wood. We'll still need something to actually start the fire, but he at least seem to
And
gather.
mushrooms catch on fire? That's his next thought to himself. I don't know if can you burn mushrooms? No, you can't, right? Because they
You
don't
can
No,
cook
catch
them,
no.
fire.
but they don't burn like wood.
Yeah, they don't burn like wood. That's what I was thinking.
Fenrir, you brought wood with you when you came about here. She'll kind of just drop some of the wood on the floor from the pile that he had
Looks
kind
like
of put
remains of the
together.
ship.
At least
Isn't it wet?
A little bit, but the best
better
you
than
got.
nothing.
Alright.
I can probably
You would
say,
start
well,
breaking the look.
Hang
Oh,
on.
go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
there's three of us now. What if we do a little divide and conquer? Have maybe one of us look for any other survivors. Maybe Fenrir could stay here because he looks like still needs a little bit more time to heal and work a bit on a shelter and fire setup. And maybe one of us could go kind of try and find some more stuff to help with the shelter, like some other wood or supplies we might need around here. And no one go without like further away than maybe screaming distance.
I can probably look around. There was that part of the ship that we saw a bit earlier. If you wanted to go and try to see if you could craft some of that, we probably need to try it out, but it's better than nothing.
I can go over there and work on getting some of that if you want to look around for more folks or see
Will
what else you
do.
can find.
I'll probably continue going right in the direction we were heading. Not useful backtracking, plus hopefully you might see at least something. Maybe something appeared in the time that we were walking from where we were to where we are now, in the direction we originally headed. But I'll continue to go, probably walk around the beach on the right, continuing right from where we found Fenrir. Fenrir. Holy, my English today.
You're good. I can't even pronounce my guy's name, so I just call him Finn.
Alright, well. Go ahead, Cece.
If we're gonna follow that plan, then I would say yeah, Arcane would just go back over and try and get what she can off the ship and kind of go from there.
You make your way back to some of the remains, and it's easy enough to gather. Looks like part of the railing. Some remaining ropes that probably was rigging up to one of the sails at one point. You actually do manage to find part of one of the sails that looks like it's been ripped asunder. But you manage to drag it back. While they're doing that, Fenrir, what are you up to?
Well, how beat up was I when, like, health-wise? Where should I put my health before she had the 5? Gave me the 5? Because
You
that
were
would have took a good
unconscious,
chunk.
so you're at 5.
Oh, okay. Okay, got you.
You
So I'll
took a
fix
mess
that in my
through the
sheet.
chest. The fact you're alive is
Gotcha.
miraculous to you.
Got it. All right. Yeah, if I'm that beat up, then I would just try to do 5. Like, sorry, I can't talk either. I'll start trying to make a file. Try to find the best dry wood and make a little shelter.
It's
Area
not big enough wood to
for when they
really
come
make a
back.
shelter, but you can definitely try to light some fire. Roll me a disadvantage survival check. Because you don't have
Bible.
tinderbox or anything to really try to light it with. It takes you a good hour or two. You're only just getting the fire up by the time Arcane returns.
And Cassie went a different direction, so.
She has some more bits and bobs than the others had. Do you say anything to Fenrir when you return, Arcane, or vice versa?
I should just say, all right, Finn, this is what I was able to bring back from the ship. Hopefully this kind of helps us a bit, maybe secure up a little bit more of the shelter, and hopefully this wood will dry out and eventually we'll have enough to keep ourselves warm. How are you doing?
You see, his mind's probably elsewhere, but when you start talking, he'll shake his head and be like, I'm doing fine, just thinking about the rest of the crew. Instantly, probably thinking about Loki.
I'm sure we're going to find everyone. We'll keep looking and we'll keep doing all that we can. I think we're going to have to eventually rest up to try and get a bit better, and probably worry about food at some point in time as well.
I feel kind of worthless right now, but I'll make it up to you guys. I appreciate it. And I look around. What did she bring back exactly? Just wood, or did she bring back any weapons or anything like that?
He has wood, some rope, which would used to be rigging, and some bit of cloth that used to be part of the, or canvas cloth, that used to be part of the sail.
Got it. So maybe we could jerry rig a little boat to get out of here, but other than that, we do need to focus on shelter.
You definitely don't have big enough pieces to make a boat.
As I
How's
remember,
that
I think
movie
I
with
can-
Tom Cruise? Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say Arcane's like 5 feet tall and like 100 pounds or something, so I'm sure there's only so incredibly much she could lug back from there. But she'd probably say, well, we could maybe see if we could enhance the shelter a little bit while Cassie's gone, and if Cassie doesn't return soon, I can head out the way she went and look for her.
I would probably be like, you could go ahead and start looking for her, and I'll start setting up if you want. Feel more relaxed if she's not alone.
All right, I'll go head after her, and then Arcane will start trying to kind of follow the way Cassie went, see if she can catch any footprints or anything to make sure she's. I mean, I think the idea is that Cassie went the direction she said she was going to do, but look out for her little paw prints as she walks to try and find
Well,
her.
it's definitely easy to follow the tracks. You're in the sand with nothing else really disturbing it at the moment. It's not a super windy day, so the tracks are preserved relatively well, so you start to follow them. Cassie, it's been 2 long hours and you haven't seen much more. You've seen some shards of wood, but that's it. Nothing big.
Nothing on the horizon or anything.
It seems to be
Sky.
the island is wrapping around.
So is she kind of almost back to where they originally started?
You're not sure. Because you have no idea where you are.
Hmm. She's like tempted to still like look around, but she knows she has to eventually go back anyway since she hasn't seen anything this way at least.
Just some wood and more dense mushroom forest off to your side.
She'll at least pick up some of the wood and that before going back leftward.
As you start making your way back, it's not long before you see Arcane heading your way in the distance. Arcane, you see the tall putty cat.
Arcane would just wave and say, "Hi, honey. Have you had any luck out here?"
Only just some wood shards. Trying to understand. Don't know if we had a complete look around the island because there's no, well, necessary landmarks to speak of. Or
Well, I brought some wood and some rope and a bit of the sail back to Finn, and I think that he wanted to stay behind and work on setting up a bit of a shelter for us. I believe he got a fire started, and I think that he probably really needs to rest up. But he was very worried about you, so I wanted to come find you. I wasn't able to heal him that much. I think he's going to need, hopefully, a good night's sleep to kind of get back into some better health than he's in.
there's also the matter we don't know what's going on with the whole mushrooms and everything. She'll kind of say, just looking these wood scraps back with her. We should probably head back towards him, but I think we should probably at least try appearing to the mushroom forest or whatever it is at some point. Did you
Yeah, I think
notice anything before you woke me up, Arcane?
no, I just kind of saw I noticed that it smelled really nice and kind of felt good to be around. But I decided to look for anyone else before I investigated too much. Maybe when we get back to where we're making camp, we could all try and take a look to see if we can figure out any more with what's going on with all these big mushrooms. And this is, I mean, maybe I'm not as well traveled as others, I know, but it seems like a bit of a strange kind of beach in general. So maybe learn a little bit more about it if we can.
Alright, Cece, I have a question for you. I have seen, I'm assuming Cassie wouldn't have seen anything like this even on like her time on the high sea before she met everyone.
Never seen anything like this before.
Hmm. Never seen anything like this. Not with the skies, not with the giant mushrooms. Didn't even know they grew that big.
Yeah,
She'll
you know,
just kind of be. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the whole thing is quite strange. So yeah.
Just have to keep our wits about us here.
I agree. Maybe set up some type of rotating kind of watch situation for while we're resting and doing things like that.
Still not. I could probably take first shift with that.
You also haven't seen any sign of like creatures or anything either. At least not here on the beaches.
Well, we should at least head over back
I guess,
over Fenrir.
yeah. I guess I think make the way back and maybe just kind of try and pick up some scraps of wood or whatever we can kind of carry to help build our little wood collection for a fire as we work our way back to.
It takes y'all about an hour and a half to get back from where y'all left Fenrir, seeing him sitting around the fire. Fenrir, what have you been up to while Arcane's been gone?
Is my mic on now? Hello?
Yes.
Alright, sorry. With the scraps that she came back, you said there was rope, piece, some wood, and a tarp, basically. So can I make a little mini tent?
The tarp won't be enough for a full tent, but you'll be able to make like an awning.
That sounds good. I'll just be little stuff. I'm not trying to push him too badly right now. And keeping an eye out. It's weird that he hasn't seen any wildlife or anything. That's also weird to him.
Fair. Eventually, you see the girls come wandering back up.
I give a head nod and to take the load off while we think about what we're gonna do next. We seen any activity in the ocean, like any other like pieces of wood coming up, or is it all the wood that's already healed?
It's only been what you've seen already on the shores.
I think if we're all together, Arcane would probably just ask really quick, because she doesn't know yet, I don't think, of who went off the ship in what order, to maybe see if there's anyone else they should be looking for, because she went first, so she doesn't know who else went off the ship or didn't. So maybe help to know if there's anyone else should try and keep an eye out for or look for.
Yeah,
There was.
that's a good question. I was the last one to get thrown, but would I have seen that I was the last one to get thrown?
You weren't really sure. You'll know for a fact Jin went off before any of you.
Yeah, I was just about to
Captain.
say that.
You have the three of y'all. Y'all saw Siren get whipped
Gotcha.
out before y'all went out. Arcane, you saw the captain get knocked off during the early parts of the fight. And you know
What was
there was
Siren?
another sailor. Siren is the captain's cat.
Oh, the kitty! I have her as pretty kitty, okay. We gotta find the kitty at least. Forget everybody else.
And do we
Sorry,
know
that was out
about
of
Christopher
character.
then from? No, I support it. Do we know about Christopher from the order that Fenrir and Cassie went off?
Y'all know Christopher, specifically Fenrir, because you were down there. You know Christopher and Sandow were still on the bottom deck, as far as you know. They weren't up on top deck with you when everything went wrong. Loki was down there as well.
Well, essentially, we at least have 2 missing personnel that we know of. Some other sailors, as well as the cat Siren.
With that knowledge, maybe we should look a little bit more.
I don't know if we'll have any luck by the beach again. I kind of just felt like I was going in a circle, but that gun don't have any markers or anything in the sand.
I am also, which we don't know what's on here, but knowing that we still need to make people, find people, I would try to make the smoke as noticeable as possible. Which
Okay.
it could be backfire, guys, so my bad, but again, we are looking for some other people.
But we could also try to make at least a marker in the sand nearby where we are, so if we get turned around, we at least know where this camp is.
Good idea. Is there a flag or anything, or like a color, a piece of, we can make a little flag to make a marker on a
You have
stick?
the bit of cloth that came from the sail.
You could always tie it around to one of the bigger pieces of wood and kind of just lodge it in the sand for now. That if there's any rocks around, probably use it to help keep it up.
Sounds like a good idea if we could find one that big.
It's easy enough to do after some looking, but what are y'all going to do in the next few days? As night turns to day and the cycle continues.
Probably look
Yeah, if
around.
it's,
Probably look around the beach somewhere before going into the mushrooms, I would say. At least that's my opinion.
How long would you avoid the mushrooms? A day, 2 days?
probably not even, I would probably wake up and try to go fishing and get food for us, and then right after that, I would probably be ready to go if Cassie hasn't found anybody
And as you're
Probably.
while
fishing,
she's looking.
you see the waters here don't have fish.
I don't like that either.
I think Arcane would want to, like, very simply, first and foremost, get everybody, if possible, like fully rested. I don't know if this place allows us to. That way everyone's like healed up and ready to go. So if we were able to accomplish that the first night, so like get fully rested, and then in the morning, like the very next day, she would want to start trying to figure out like what the mushrooms are and come up with a plan to see if we can leave a way to know where we are and then start actually looking in the mushrooms. Like we haven't found anything on the beach, so I think that would be kind of her theory in life is let's get fully healed up and rested if we can, and then if Finn's going to try and, if you want to try and find food, she would want to take a look at the mushrooms more. But I'm not sure if we're able to rest or where we're at.
Yeah, y'all are able to rest. You'll manage to get through a long rest. Do note that you can survive a number of days without food equal to 3 plus your constitution modifier number of days without food before starting to gain exhaustion. So I think y'all all have at least 2, so y'all will be able to make it 5 days at least without food before your body starts to hate you.
So proficiency bonus and then constitution modifier?
No, 3 plus constitution modifier.
Oh, so 6, okay.
Then yeah.
The first day, y'all are mostly getting
Oh,
things
yeah, I'd
ready.
say if
I'm
we
not fine.
viewed it that we had a.
Y'all are getting y'all's little camp ready, doing what y'all can to make a little shelter, have the fire going and plenty of wood to deal with Cassie as you walk around the island. It takes you a full day of walking to get around this thing. The only thing of note on the beach you find is there is a large bay on about 3 hours off to the left of y'all's camp, in which there is a waterfall that is draining into the lake, or not the lake, into the bay. Unlike the water of the sea, this water is crystal. It's almost more blue than you would have expected.
I'm gonna make a mental note of that and probably let the others know when I come back. About it's 3 hours left
That's the way.
of our camp. Probably if I had well, I have the trident, so I can make little marks in the sand to at least help with that, since we at least do have the
You have a trident, a rapier, and a short sword at this point.
yeah.
You also
That
do
was
find,
pretty-
as while you're walking around, you do find your other rapier. Its
I'll
blade
probably-
is bent all to hell, but you do have it.
Yeah, so essentially eventually I get that fixed. But...
Yeah. It's not in fighting condition at the moment, but if you can find somebody to fix it, you would be able to fix it.
I'll make a note of that. But no other signs of life, essentially, other than water.
You
The
think
bay.
you end up hearing something moving in the forest, but you didn't get a good look at it before it disappeared.
Can I make kind of like a big mark in the sand where I kind of heard that?
Yeah, it's about an hour. It's an hour after the bay, but about 2 hours before you get back to camp.
About 3 hours from bay.
1 hour
Was it 2
from
hours?
the bay.
Oh.
3 hours to get back to camp from the bay, and 2 hours, or 1 hour into going back to camp, you see whatever was moving. So it's 2 hours away from camp.
Okay. I'll be heading back to camp to at least notify the squad. Oh. Blinding.
So there's your
Cassie,
bay.
it's... Okay.
This
hold
is
on.
where the waterfall is.
I can't see anything, it's just plain white.
You don't see me. Oh, wrong layer. Whoops. Token layer. That's your waterfall in the middle.
Okay.
This is about where you see the creature. And y'all's camp is way down here. And y'all
Where's
first
about-
woke up here.
Can you mark those on the map with a different color? I see the bay. Don't see the other things.
I'm still on the GM map. God damn it.
So,
Give me a second. I'll put better marks on it.
okay. I was also just gonna try to see if I could write.
Monster.
Well, creature, we don't know if it's a monster per se.
Yeah, something was moved. Come on, computer. I need you to move faster.
Rhoda.
Come on.
The monster shape. Could be.
Rose, that looks like it answered what I was trying to do. I'm guessing over here would be the camp.
That's where you first woke up. Come on, don't be slow. Here we go. Here, campfire.
Okay. Mouse, you're just fighting me at this point.
Yeah. So effectively, that's what y'all are looking at.
That's right. My mouse is fighting me. I was trying to write down things so that we get a good idea. Alright. I'll head back to camp with the knowledge of this and mentally marking down kind of like how long it takes. Arcane, find your room back.
I'm about to be in front of my computer right now. I will be back with some.
As our character is Ek here.
We'll be asking. Sorry, was it a question?
Yeah, we're just seeing if you were here.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting.
Yeah, Cassie had headed back to camp, and she was at least gonna let you guys know about the bay, the waterfall with the like very crystal clear, different colored water from the waterfall that was pouring into the bay. About the least rustling that she heard somewhere due this way. From the OG area, so I'm going to call it from now on, and it's towards the bay essentially. We might be able to at least get some water from the waterfall, but we would probably have to make sure it's good. It's just better than gestures to water an ocean.
I think while you were gone, Arcane would have been kind of looking within the vicinity, not too far into the mushroom little forest, but she wants to figure out what the mushrooms are. Mainly like if they'd be edible or if they're poisonous or something like that. So, because knowing that we'll need food. So probably going inwards a bit. Like I'm guessing, it's drawing that way. Oh, my computer hates me right now as well.
You see, as you go up exploring the edge of the mushroom wood. It looks like the inside. You notice in some of the flowers there are these thick, juicy kind of lavender orbs that are growing, which have these brilliant green kind of leaves coming out the top of them. They almost look like they are the central piece coming out of the flower.
I'm able to check one of those out, kind of get an idea of what it might be. Would I have any idea, or?
No, you've never seen anything like this. But you do, as you get closer, you notice that this seems to be what that smell you were getting from. That kind of fruity smell seems to be coming from this orb.
Arcane's gonna want to check those out more. I guess try and pick one and get a closer look at it.
You pick it, and it's
Yeah,
about the
if
size
she's
of a coconut. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Size
If she's
of
gonna
coconut.
venture out, if she venture outside of Finn's line sight, he would have followed her.
Okay, so you're here with her. It's got some
just
heft to it.
around.
You can lift it up, and it's. You could probably knock somebody out with this thing if you hit him in the head hard enough with it. But it's
Does it
got
look like there's a way? I'm guessing.
It's got a smooth, kind of squishy outside. It's a little hard. Think like a melon, almost.
Is there a way to open it up? Arcane wants to find out. Basically, she's trying to figure out if it's edible. What she's going for. Knowing
y'all
it's
have any
probably
weapons?
risky, but knowing they need food.
I think, yeah, y'all have Cody's short sword. Or not Cody, Fenrir's short sword. So y'all just cut it open if you want to
Do I
try
still
that.
have? Okay. Do I still have my rapier, or is it gone?
Yeah, did you have it in your hand? I don't remember.
I did before I went over. I did, but
Then it would not have been recovered yet.
then yeah, I guess use one of Finn's swords and cut it open, and I suppose let Finn know. Honey, I don't really know what else to do besides just go ahead and try this. My hope is that it's not going to kill me. If it does, well, then don't eat them. But we're gonna need food.
I understand the thinking, but you're the only one that could heal us, so how about I do this? And I'll attempt to cut it open.
You see, it's a little hard getting the blade through the spongy outside, as it seems to resist the blade at first. Can you get an athletics check?
Got it. Damn, is that tough? Okay. Athletics, you said? Got it.
It takes some working, but you manage to get the blade to pierce in through it and drag it back through the exterior of this and cut a large grip into it. And then you push your thumbs in and you manage to rip the thing in two, seeing the inside of it now. Let me get a quick picture there. As you manage to rip it open, you see, instead of kind of the brilliant purple you would have expected, you see the tough purple exterior very quickly changes to a fading out into a pure white. As you see, the inside is full of this kind of meaty, juicy fruit flesh, and the very interior of it is absolutely filled with seeds of some kind.
So, would Finn being trained in that, Cody obviously only knows mushrooms, the ones you get hot.
Your
a
mic
good
is
sign,
breaking
or
up
is that a bad sign,
real
or
hard.
do I make
Reset
a
your
check
mic.
off of that?
Unplug your mic real quick. I didn't catch any of that.
Is that better or no?
Yes, significantly. I can actually understand you. Try again.
Yeah, I was like, Cody, origins from the ones obviously you get high off of, but Finn being angel, would that be a good sign to him, or would that be a bad sign, or is there a check that you want me to make to figure that out?
Effectively, it looks like the inside of a melon. Like, let me send you an image real quick.
I mean, yeah, live once, he would just pop it in his mouth and see what happens.
So if you look at artwork, it's kind of like that, but different colors. Think cantaloupe or a watermelon.
Or like honeydew.
Yeah, all of those would kind of be kind of what we're looking at. But if you pop it in
Okay,
your
yeah,
mouth,
it would pop.
start to chew. Do you eat the part with the seeds, the inner flesh, the exterior? What you trying to eat?
A full day, he'll probably not kill. He'll just swallow it whole at this point.
It's the size of a coconut. You would not be able to swallow it whole.
Oh, it's the size of a coconut. I thought it was a little small. Sorry, my guys. Then probably wouldn't take the seeds, no, just to be safe. But everything else is a fair game.
You gonna cut them out, or just start eating the flesh?
Yeah.
So you cut them off, toss them aside. They're not too much of an interest to you as you bite it, and it's got this rich, very sweet taste to it. Definitely some kind of fruity taste. A little bit sweeter than apple. Closer to like a watermelon. But it tastes really good, and you can feel it starting to fill your body with a little bit of a chill. As it sinks through your esophagus down into your stomach, and then you feel your body start to relax a little bit. Almost as if being in a sense of... you would equate it to some of those mushrooms you've eaten in the past, but a little bit different. As then you feel your body solidify. Not like turning into a statue or anything. Just you feel tougher. Mechanically, you have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Okay. Well, my bad to take the Thundle, and he'll hand you the other half. You want to try it?
Yeah, I think that we need something to eat. You seem like you're doing all right, so Arcane would, just eat some of the flesh of it as well to see if it helps any type of hunger issues, not knowing how he feels.
You feel about the same thing, the rush of cold filling your body, and then the strengthening of it.
Is there any more of those mushrooms around?
It's not mushrooms, they're a fruit on the flower.
Oh, fruit. Oh, okay, the fruit on. Okay, I would take a couple if there's any more. So when we get
they're
back to
plentiful.
Cassie.
They're everywhere.
Good thing I don't have speak with plants right now, or I would be freaking out. But yeah, I would be taking some.
You're able to get a nice supply of them and bring them back to camp. It takes another about hour for Cassie to get back after their day of adventuring around the island.
What she would at least tell them about the stuff she's seen about the water source and that.
While we were in the jungle doing that, would I have heard anything like around, like
No.
any wildlife at all?
And you'll
Not even bullets?
properly go into the dense mushroom forest. You just kind of were on the outskirts.
Okay.
Arcane wouldn't want to travel too far without Cassie as well. Like if we're gonna go travel around, she'd think we should do it as a group. And also with Cassie being back, she would share the fruit and let them know that they found this and that it seems to help with hunger a bit and also makes you feel a bit stronger for some reason. And she's not really sure why it makes you feel stronger, but it does.
Would I have heard about anything like this in the past before, in different ports and that and whatnot?
Not this specifically, but magic herbs and whatnot aren't unheard of. They're usually used in potions.
Is there any way to do like an arcana check on it to see if we can figure out if it's magic officially, or I don't know, any check at all to see if we
Yeah,
know,
you
like
can
we
make
can
an
figure out
arcana.
what it is? Okay, that'd be good. But
Arcane,
oh,
based on the
no.
feeling you're getting, you have a pretty good understanding of these kind of things, having seen them used in the past. You think there is some kind of magical um, trait to this fruit, as it is literally hardening your
Bone.
skin. You touch your arm to see it feels even smoother than normal. It feels super soft and pliable, but when you strike it, as if you hit it on something, it will suddenly harden the interior and the actual muscles and bone and whatnot not taking any damage, suddenly it becoming like a carapace before it softens again.
Yes,
And
It
would I know
reminds
if
you of the
they're going to
spell
be
Iron.
okay? Would I know if there are going to be any like ill effects if we're using this for our food source since we haven't found anything yet?
If you eat it too regularly and too high of quantities, you could get fat. Or, depending on what kind of magic is, you'd have to do a bunch of different tests, and you'd need all kinds of supplies to really figure it out. There is a chance that it could go one of two ways. It could give you a weak magical sickness as you ingest too much magic, or it could actually be a way to help bring up your resistance to new types of magic, which would help with like drinking potions and whatnot. You're not entirely sure. It's a risk either way.
She would let everyone know that and say that
On the other side, that is a
that
smaller chance than it just being food.
okay, yeah,
Probably get
she would
fat
let
more than
everyone know
any
that.
light. Hold on.
So essentially, take it in small amounts for now. Cassie, I'll just
And
look.
she said,
Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, she would tell you all that and say that if we're gonna get in a fight, it'd probably help us out with that a bit, and that it's all right to eat, just don't gorge ourselves on it, but it should help with hunger issues for now as well while we figure things out.
Cassie will not only stick out like the short sword that she was borrowing from Fenrir, to at least help cut open at least one of these so that she eats a bit. But while the procession of the three of them eating, at least letting them know about the bay, the waterfall, the area that she marked out of based off of her hearing something, since it's usually been dead quiet in the other areas around the beach, about like how long it took her to get to each place, and that she's at least been trying to mark as well as she can with what ways to go. So it depends on, she'll ask if they do want to venture more inside the island or if they want to check out the noise or at least the waterfall so that they could get some water.
I think Arcane would say we should try and make a trip to the waterfall at least before we venture into the island. So if it's clean water, we have food and drink. So that way, once we start, and if we're planning, say tomorrow or something, to start going through the mushroom forest, that we would hopefully have food and water to take with us so we're not going to starve or dehydrate.
Do know waterfall is the place I marked out that did have that sound coming from that. So we could
Might
at
have
least
to
check
get.
that out on the way too.
Yeah, I think if you guys are okay with that, I think water next would probably be the best idea. We have our camp marked off, right? So the assumption is we could all go if we wanted.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
Fenrir's
sounds
feeling
like
better.
a good idea.
During that time,
Yeah.
you'll manage to go get some water. It's not hard. The water does seem more crisp. Does anybody actually drink it?
Arcane would drink it.
It is rich and cold, and it tastes wonderful.
As long as she doesn't drop dead, she would let them know that. She would have definitely drank it before Fen got a chance to, because she knew that he'd always say don't do it. So just real quick, take a drink. Say, I seem fine. Water, yay.
I would go through dehydration first before probably hunger. It would be best to take a drink of water when we can, given the fact that we don't know of any other source of water currently.
It's while y'all are there,
Yeah,
you'll hear
the Finn let his guard down. Oh,
a crack of thunder high above, and suddenly the winds start to pick up. What does the party do? As it seems a storm is coming upon you.
Do we have
Hollywood.
time to get back to our shelter, or are we
Just
here at
prepare
the
out of
bay and this
there.
is where it's going to hit?
What'd you say, Frodo?
that was me.
I
was
coughed.
gonna
I didn't say
something.
anything.
Cody, sorry.
I asked.
Ben Rieger.
I asked if it just popped out of nowhere, or is it just signs of what's to come? Like,
It's
is
the
it
sounds
a
of what's
storm
to
just
come.
coming out of nowhere?
It's on its way.
Okay.
You're catching the outside of it.
I don't think we
Yeah, I
should hang out near the beach during a storm.
During a storm, yeah.
Surprisingly, your area on the beach would likely be safer.
Yeah, we'll head over to where the camp is, since
As the storm seems to be coming in from the other side of the island. So it's going to crash through this bay and crash over the island, most of the waves coming from the north east.
Okay, so it's just coming through a section of it, not the whole
us.
thing. I got what you're saying.
No, it's
Yeah.
going to come crashing over the entire island. It's just the surge is going to be on that side of the other side.
Okay.
Got it. I will start making it back. But do no boards or anything, right? I'm always having an air out for that while we're
Not
walking.
a single one.
Wildlife.
Not a single sound either, other than the storm.
No. It's all quiet. So y'all are gonna bunker down. Y'all have water. Y'all are actually able to use the shells of the fruits y'all were eating to make kind of like basic water canteens where you can use them as bowls, because the spongy outside actually holds the water rather nicely.
That's good.
So with some of the rope, y'all are able to tie the melons back together and make coconuts full of water. With your swords, you're able to dig out the other side and almost make a basic water canteen for y'all to store water in. It's not the best, but it's better than nothing. This storm ends up being a incredibly nasty one. Wind ends up whipping around, making a lot of the mushrooms deeper in move and sway at terrifying angles. So keeping away from them as best you can is usually good. The water on this side's mostly getting pushed away, so you don't have a lot of storm surge here, but you're terrified of what's going on the other side, and this ends up lasting a full week and a half. How often are y'all eating in between that time?
Probably every couple days. At least with Cassie, probably every 3.
Unfortunately, no, Christopher.
Only I was gonna say with Arcane, same, like every 3 only when she kind of has to, because would want to wait till the storm's done before having to worry about no food, no water again. So yeah, just kind of only when needed.
Can I get pair of 3 Constitution checks from each? No, 4 Constitution checks from each member of the party that is there.
Constitution checks.
Saves. Sorry.
Yes. Oh, saves. Got it. And you want 4 of them?
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have failed one.
Cassie, you noticed on the 5th day, the effects of the fruit really start to die off, and you feel your skin feels almost weaker than it used to be, having had that thickened skin for so long now, and it feels weird to you.
Even
You
though
feel
I've only been
exposed.
eating it like once every 3 days, I would have only ate it twice.
Yeah. Remember, a week and a half would be 15 days for y'all.
Okay.
I rolled a 9. It's my lowest one out of those 4, Fifi, so you don't have to look for it.
So anybody that rolled under a 12 starts having that feeling of being kind of exposed.
I'm mostly gonna check like that area of my fur and that where it kind of feels weak to see if there's anything necessarily wrong with it.
If you press on it,
Oh, I got.
it just feels like normal skin again. It just feels off.
Oh, at least that arcane. No, Oh, arcane that 3.
Arcane's feeling not great. 3 fails on that, and 1 was a nat 1.
Yeah,
So
you feel. One moment, please. And we're back. Sorry about that. But yeah, the time passes. You'll effectively have to hunker down and watch the storm blow through. It's a pretty nasty one. But with y'all able to have the water, y'all are able to send a couple people over to the bay to get for stuff from the water. It's not a fun trip. You get soaked. Y'all actually, who would go on that trip to recover water from the waterfall?
Probably Cassie.
Just
I was
Cassie.
saying how I could stand that. I would probably go with it, but I don't want to split it. Yeah, I would go with them, especially going through the yeah.
are we assuming Arcane's not feeling too hot from the fruit debacle?
It's not. You don't feel weaker or anything. You just feel more exposed. And as soon as you eat another one, your skin goes back to how it was after eating it, and you feel more protected. And it actually, do you go with him, Arcane?
Yeah, I mean, the only fear that I guess she would ask the party, because the only fear she'd have is with the storm going through, are we going to lose the fire and not be able to get a fire going again? So that would be her only hold off.
If left alone, there's a good chance it will go back.
Then Arcane would say, I guess, y'all go ahead and I'll keep the fire going. And she'd just stay there to keep the fire going, because being cold wouldn't be good.
There is an issue for Cassie and Fenrir, as when you're making your way around the bay where the waters are getting pretty bad, as you're starting to get around the side, there is a large snapping noise as one of the great mushrooms on the edge comes falling down the cliffside, slamming into Fenrir. Fenrir, there was no time for you to get out of the way. It was massive, and you get crushed underneath. But
Does it do
you feel-
damage?
Yeah, I'm doing that math right now.
Sorry.
Where is my calculator?
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. I'll just have my new character.
It's Don't give up that easily.
Instead of the 92
If you have to,
damage as this massive mushroom slams into you, you're only going to take 46 due to the effects
Ooh.
of the fruits you were eating, solidifying your skin.
ooh, I'm basically almost down. Nice. I'm still up though.
But you are severely wounded as it makes the hole in your stomach hurt even more, so you're limping most of the way back, but you are alive and still moving. Y'all are able to get the water and make y'all's way back to camp. But
I'm assuming Cassie would have helped him get out
Yeah.
underneath the mushroom.
yeah, but while that's going on,
You did.
and y'all are making y'all's way back, let's check in with the other party. Sandow, Christopher, how are y'all doing? It has been days, and y'all have been following the Steagle, only to get caught up in a massive storm again.
I'm just
Well, I'm
holding
hungry.
onto the railing, trying not to get thrown off during the storm.
Sando's trying to generally keep people safe and stuff. As best he can, like keep people from falling off.
Fair. Most of the crew is staying under deck to keep the hole from getting worse. Y'all haven't heard a lot from Wisp in the last few days. All he's been doing is trying to hold the ship together with Liam. Neva has almost never left the quarterdeck. You're not even sure she's slept all that much in the last few days, as she does her best to keep this ship moving, especially once that storm hits. And that storm keeps coming and coming and coming. And it's not until y'all almost lose the mast as a massive wave crashes over the top, cracking the last mast y'all have, that Neva is able to jump a wave, realizing behind the wave, it isn't open water. Y'all come crashing down, the ship cracking, a massive crack coming up the side of the ship as y'all go flying into this small bay, the ship beaching itself with the force of the winds, but y'all are able to safely get out of the open sea.
We
Hey,
did
Neva,
it,
I think there's
guys.
land ahead.
All according to plan.
And it's just as this y'all manage to land in that next day, the storm finally abates. Unfortunately, in the crash, Neville was severely wounded as she was thrown hard into the steering wheel, cracking it, two of the joints spearing through her chest. She has not been able to assist since, as she was very badly injured.
I'm going to. Well, at this point, Wisp doesn't have to hold this thing together anymore.
He also has 5 levels of exhaustion at this point.
Yeah.
Wisp, go to bed.
He doesn't argue. He falls asleep on the fucking spot. Liam's in similar condition. The only one who's really in decent condition at the moment is y'all's first mate, Slifer.
I'm gonna ask Slifer if she could figure out where we are on a map relative to anything else.
I've never seen an island like this on any map. I don't think we're anywhere that's been charted before. Perhaps on another plane or something, but not anywhere that I know.
Dang.
At least we made it somewhere.
We have some solid ground to stand on, so we have hope yet. I'm gonna check out Neva, see how, because she is very much injured. But I'm gonna see if I can do anything about it.
At this point, she just needs rest and food because y'all ran out of food a while ago. At this point, nobody's doing well. If y'all don't find food, y'all are going to die.
All right.
You
Okay,
two
that
are
sounds
the
like,
strongest left standing. Slifer is weak. At this point, she's doing her best, but her thin body is even thinner than it was before. The other sailors are almost immobile at this point. They're still trying to move around, trying to help keep the ship in order, but they're not moving well. If they don't get food and water, they're done for.
Stand out. We need to find food before everyone dies.
I'll prepare a feast, and I'm going to make a perception check for any sort of actually survival for any sort of leads for food.
You don't see a lot kind of in this rocky cove, but go ahead and make that survival check for me.
Yeah.
As
If there are any muscles growing on the yeah, that's not good.
As the two of you jump down from the ship, you see just how bad the ship is. The large crack going across the middle of the ship, and under the front of the ship, the whole right side of the hull has a massive hole in it.
Oh yeah. Dang.
Okay, so I guess as the great people did before us, we just wander around until we find something.
Christopher, are you going to be looking
Yep.
for anything, or are you just following Sandow?
Well, I mean, while still standing on top of the ship, I'm assuming I have about like higher vantage point, so I'm gonna try to look around to see if I can see anything that would resemble a food source.
Not up where you are. You see high above on a cliff, there's what looks like some kind of foliage, and there's a waterfall running down into the bay in which you have landed. Also, the sand
waterfall?
is this odd pink sand instead of the normal white.
Out of character, this is gonna sound weird, but pink sand is normal for me.
Yes.
What we have here is like pink sand, so.
But for your character, it's not. I know
Sorry.
there are pinks and black sands. That is a thing that is in the world. But it's still strange for most people.
Well, I guess at that point, in my mind, I'm thinking waterfall animals are gonna go to where a watering source is, or a water hole it would be.
It falls
Normally,
off the side of the
waterfalls
cliff.
are like fresh water, so.
Yeah, and it's this kind of strange swirling blue. So if you think you can get up there, there might be a source up there. But you're in this kind of large bay with has a lot of cliffside, which means climbing up there is going to be a pain in the ass. It's probably best to go around.
Are there any mussels growing on the rocks around?
Nope, not at all.
Rats.
There are not any rats either.
Dang.
But what would the two of you like to do?
I guess our best bet is gonna be to try to go around this cliff to get up
I'm
to
gonna
where
climb the cliff.
waterfall is.
It would take you a while, but you can try it.
I'm gonna climb the cliff.
Roll me in athletics. You start moving up, but with its height, it's going to take you at least a couple hours to get up there. Christopher, what are you going to do while your friends?
Dang, this is a high cliff.
Oh yeah, it is.
Considering the fact that I'm on a strange island and I don't want to go wandering around alone, I guess I will stand here and watch Sandow climb because I know I can't do that.
As you are doing something, Christopher, you notice something in the sand. A little distance off, maybe 100 feet. In the sand.
Hey,
Go ahead.
hey, Sandow, there's something down here. If you're getting tired of climbing, you want to come?
What?
You just keep doing you. And I start to head over and check it out.
I can't hear you, but I'm going to keep being me. He keeps going up.
But Christopher, you see in a ways away from the waterfall, amongst all the pink sand, there is a spot filled with this dark red kind of clotted sand.
Hmm. I guess I'm just gonna say screw it and go check it out. Like,
I mean, you're standing
like
next to
start. No. I mean, like, pick up a stick or something and start poking the sand and seeing what's going on with it.
roll me a quick.
If there's anything weird about it. Oh boy, I'm good at these. I swear.
Christopher,
No, I'm not too bad.
you've been on the seas for a little bit. The problem being is you recognize that is sand that has clotted over blood. And a fair bit of it.
Well, at this point, what is the range of minor illusion? 30 feet. How far up is Sandow?
He hasn't made it that far. He's working his way up, but he's free climbing.
Okay. So, minor illusion, you can create a sound that is your voice, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can I just have it whisper in his ear, hey, come down here, there's stuff that we need to be worried about, there's blood in the sand?
No, because that is message. And he's beyond the range.
That's what I... Can I have minor illusion scream?
Yeah, you can do that, though.
Come down here.
You can be real loud.
Sandow, get down here now.
Because funnily enough, you can do that either through minor illusion or thaumaturgy.
Yeah.
But Sandow, you hear
Well,
that from Christopher way below.
Yeah, Sandow gets startled and almost falls down, but then he just starts climbing down pretty fast.
It doesn't take you long to get down. It's much easier to get down than up. Especially with how exhausted your body is. Because you haven't been eating for almost a week now.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
There's blood baked into the sand down here. Which can mean one
okay.
of two things. One,
Well, that means at least there's probably animals here. So that's a good sign.
that's one. Or there's a dead person nearby. I'm hoping, since this is an island in the middle of nowhere, as far as we can tell, that it's the first one of those two.
I'm gonna hope for that one, but if there's blood in the sand, shouldn't there be a trail going around?
That's why I was hoping to have you nearby, because I'm gonna end up following this if there is a trail. So
Okay.
it might be good to have some backup. And if there's blood, that means something injured it, which means there's something else out there that could probably injure me.
Got it.
Yeah. So do we notice a trail of blood? Or like the
Roll survival.
caked black red stuff? Survival. Oh boy.
Well, I'm gonna grab like 50 feet of rope from the ship also.
Fair enough. I mean, you just can grab it from your pack. Because you actually have your pack.
Yeah, I was about to say, we
Yeah.
have our packs on us. I have... Do I have rope?
Everybody starts with rope.
Whoa. Funny enough, I don't.
Fair. I thought all of them did. But, Sandow, are you going to be rolling too, or just letting Christopher go?
For survival?
Yes.
Sure, I'll roll.
Sando, you're the one that picks it up. It's mostly been what looks like washed away, but you see the faint trickle of blood moving away from this large patch, and you also see what looks like blurred tracks.
Huh. There's tracks going on here, but they're blurred.
Probably means they were there in the storm.
Oh, shit. Give me a second to live. Oh, whew. I'm sorry.
I'll
just
rephrase
hearing-
that. These tracks
there's tracks.
these tracks
but they're blurred.
These tracks are unclear, I'll say that. And then I'm gonna...
Oh,
With
Let's follow
lightning,
them.
They'll turn into glass and become very clear.
Yes, I'll
ooh.
do that
made me
later.
lightheaded.
Lightning. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't have that one. I don't have that prepped right now.
I'm trying to breathe. I feel lightheaded now. Give me a moment. Ooh.
Well, let's send out.
Ooh, that gave me a headache too. Yeah. Sandow, you take the lead. Oh, that gave me a throbbing headache.
Alrighty. Let's follow these tracks as I pull out a comically sized magnifying glass.
It doesn't even have any glass in it because it's too expensive. Surprisingly, a magnifying glass, like hundreds of gold. I think it's
Yeah.
200 or something. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's obnoxiously
I have-
expensive.
What are
It's
manacles?
not it's not
Manacles are
curved glass.
handcuffs.
It's just it's a window pane.
Oh, never
It's a
mind.
porthole he took.
Yeah, manacles are handcuffs, effectively. But you'll start following the way, slowly moving along, being careful. You can see this island took a beating from the storm in which you were getting thrown around in. But, how long are y'all going to be following it? Because y'all come along the edge, leaving the water behind, and you see just the edge of the mushroom wood just flowering with these beautiful, massive flowers.
I wonder if these are edible.
I mean, if you know anything about mushrooms, it's a possibility. There's also the
It is.
option of trying it.
Okay, I could try one. And I'm first going to do the smell test.
Smells wonderfully fruity. You think
Alright.
you don't even think you've met gay men this fruity.
And I'm going to try to recall if I've ever read about a mushroom like this.
They're not mushrooms. Are you looking for the mushrooms or the fruit
Oh.
within the flower that you find?
The mushrooms.
No, you've never seen mushrooms this goddamn big. They're massive.
Okay. I'm going to try to figure out if with any context
Actually,
clues if these things are edible or not.
Before you eat it, just to be safe.
Uh-huh.
Can I ritual cast detect magic? It'll take about 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Sandow, are you that patient though? You haven't eaten in about
Yeah.
2 weeks almost.
I see that he's about to use detect magic, and I'm going to stand behind him when he does that.
I guess I have to pull out. No, it's yeah, I'd have to pull out my lute and kind of just start gently strumming because it's a vocal and somatic component.
It takes you
So
a
I'll be
while,
doing that for 10 minutes.
But Sandow, you are waiting for him?
I am waiting behind him as he's using detect magic.
You detect after a while, Christopher, there is a lot of magic in the foliage here. It's more of a natural magic, not one of the general schools, but it's definitely there.
Gotcha. Do I detect anything from Sandow?
I keep walking behind him.
I can detect the magic within 30
Pacing
feet
back
of me.
and forth.
But I believe it's visual. If I remember detect magic, you see it glow.
Yeah. Around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic.
I get the distinct feeling Sandow has grabbed you by the shoulders and making you face forward. Is that about what's going on,
Yeah,
Sandow?
that's-
Well, I'm.
fair.
It's more like I'm kind of putting my hand on his shoulder, and it's like, oh, what's that over there? Is that magic? How about that?
And everything around here seems to be somewhat
Yeah.
magical. So
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, everything.
Everything
as far
around
as
here.
I can see, everything
As-
looks magical.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm yeah, these look pretty good. I'm just gonna take a slice, and I'm just gonna try to tear off a little chunk
Of
of
what, the
mushroom.
Okay, you're just gonna try to
I'm gonna
steal it out of the tree?
I take a little, yeah,
You see it starts
chunk of
pouring
mushroom.
this thick green kind of like blood that just spurts out and has this foul smell to it.
Oh wow, went from fruity to death.
No, because the mushroom isn't fruity. The fruits are fruity.
No, I meant the aromas around here.
Well, yeah.
Like we went
Well-
from stuff smelling fruity to stuff smelling like death.
I'm gonna give it a sniff, see if it smells like a poison.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
It does not smell good. It smells like
Yeah.
rot. Almost.
Smells
Okay.
like rot.
So mushrooms bad. Maybe the fruit.
Okay, I'm going to pick up a fruit.
They've got a hard, spongy outside.
Hard and spongy. I don't like that. I'm gonna put that back down.
Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I'll risk it. I'm just gonna pick up the fruit and take a bite out of it.
The outside you can't really get your teeth into.
Never mind. Ow. Might need to hand it to Sandow. Could you break this open for me? Your mage hand is stronger than mine, so.
Sure. I'm going to then mage hand. I'm going to use mage hand pinch to try to crack it open.
Roll athletics.
All right.
You're able to dig your fingers into it, splitting it down the center.
All right. There you go.
And I'll give half to Sandow, and then I'll keep the other half. Okay,
Oh,
well. Bottoms up, I guess, and I kind of... Is it, like, liquidy inside, or is it kind of like an actual coconut where it has the actual, like, meaty...
It's like a melon, almost.
Part of
It's filled with
like
this
a melon?
meaty kind of fruit flesh and some seeds on the inside.
I'm gonna pluck out the seeds and then bite into the meloniness of it.
It is wonderful, rather sweet, but wonderful. You haven't eaten in days, and it is just absolute bliss. You feel the chill run through your body. You feel your stomach go, "Oh, I've got food," and then you feel your skin
Oh,
start
boy.
to harden a little bit.
Skin harden.
Yep.
Wait. Sundown. If I turn to stone, can you carry me back to the ship?
I can.
Thank you. And I continue eating the melon.
Stabilize. You don't turn into stone or anything.
Okay, so far, I'm not dead. That's a plus. How many of these fruits do we see lying around?
Probably about 15.
We should probably try to gather these up and bring them back to the ship. So that way
Yeah.
people have food.
I need to find sources of protein.
Well, protein
That's
can
imperative
wait until
for
we're...
Protein can
until we
wait.
Protein can wait until we're not almost dead.
It's how you recover.
It's part of how
I
you
need-
recover.
Roughly 80%.
80% protein. I mean, you can take a bite out of that mushroom tree if you want. Mushrooms are full of protein.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I'm going to take a bite.
Need a con save.
All right.
You immediately start vomiting.
I what?
You immediately start vomiting everywhere.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
That's. Maybe need some salt.
Just a little bit of salt. I'll press the digitation it to make it taste like it has a little bit of salt on it. There you go.
Probably also needs to be cooked. And also depoisoned.
Depoisoned? Okay.
Yeah, probably.
You do
So
actually
for
have
now-
the poison condition right now.
Oh, I do. Okay.
For now, let's grab all the fruit that we can and bring it back to the ship.
I'll go grab a couple more of these mushrooms.
So,
The mushrooms are like 5 feet tall.
I'm gonna chop down one of these mushrooms with my hand.
So Sandow's going full arc survival on this. He'll be there for a little bit. So in the meantime, are you bringing back the mushrooms?
yeah, gathering up all the mushrooms I can, trying to throw them in. Not mushrooms, the fruit I can, and putting them in my bag.
Yeah. Once you get back to the ship, Slifer is immediately going to just. It has to go to the crew. Y'all found what y'all can. She doesn't have the strength to question it, so she's just going to start passing about making sure people are able to eat it. Because they all are.
Now, Slifer, I did try one of these. Nothing bad happened to me yet. But it's edible, and it will hopefully help as of right now.
There's an odd.
It made his skin hard.
But after that, what are y'all gonna do? Sandow's still out punching a mushroom.
Oh yeah, Sandow's over there trying to chop down a mushroom tree that is probably poisonous.
So you're gonna head back to him, follow the path again?
Yeah, so I'll head back to Sandow to make sure that he's not by himself and nothing stupid happens.
Sandow, as you're punching this tree, you eventually end up touching some of the green stuff that's coming up, and it burns your skin like acid.
Ah.
It hurts.
Okay. Well, at least I got to the layer I needed to. And now I'm going to try to snap it in half by, like, bending it.
Okay.
Because I already got a fulcrum going. Alright, athletics.
It takes you a while, but you do manage to snap it.
Alright, good.
There's a massive crash as this giant mushroom comes crashing down.
Okay. And I was eating from, like, the stalk. Does the head seem any different?
No. Looks to be made of the same material.
Okay. I'm going to I'm gonna try to drag it to the base. I gotta figure out how to make this thing edible.
Okay. Christopher, what are you gonna do while this is going on?
Is there, like, acid leaking out of it as he's dragging it?
Oh yeah. And you can see
Okay,
him
so
burning the sand as he tries to pass.
I'm gonna walk in front of him, so I'm not walking in the trail of acid. And just kind of watch him drag that thing back towards the ship. But once we get to the ship, I'll be like, do not put that on the ship. That thing is melting everything behind it. And we have barely enough of a ship to call it a ship as is right now. So
I thought that was me, actually. I kept throwing up. I thought it was me.
I did. It might have been partially you too. But
Okay.
that thing that you chopped down is just leaking acidic material all over the place.
I'm just gonna. I gotta figure out how to make this edible. It's got all this mushroom meat. Just gotta get rid of all the acid and poison inside of it, and it's probably okay. I'll keep eating it later.
I mean, we could try to make a fire and cook it, but for now, I get back up on the ship and ask Silver if everyone's doing a little bit better now that they have some food in their system, and if anyone had any like bad reaction to the food.
As I saw, but most of them are too weak to make an argument. It'll likely be a few days
Fair.
before they're mobile again.
Okay, we can go out and try to find more food and scour the island, figure out what's going on around here. But is there anything that you would like us to try to do other than that?
You can find wood. Wood and food, the most important things. With us being here, we might also be able to find anything that washed up during the wreck. So keep an eye out for anything at this point. The more we know, the better.
Is that a forest where we found the mushroom and stuff? Is it just like a mushroom forest, or they're actually trees?
No trees, just mushroom.
No trees, just mushroom?
Yep.
So there's no wood for us to chop down to make a fire, at least.
Maybe the mushrooms are flammable.
Y'all do
Possible.
have broken boxes down in the hold you could use to make a fire.
Yeah.
Silver, you find if we take some of these boxes, see if we can possibly cook up this mushroom here to make it edible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so then I guess I'll go down into the bottom of the ship, grab some of the broken boxes, bring them up, make them in the shape of a campfire on the beach, and then just snap my fingers and light it.
I got I'm gonna grab one of the harpoons, and I'm going to, hunk off a chunk of mushroom. I'm gonna try to wash it in the ocean to get as much of the acid off of it as I can. Then we'll try to roast that thing.
Okay. It takes a long time for you to get it where it looks edible.
Okay. And now to take a bite.
Well, you might want to cook it first.
You did.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were talking about you just washed it to where it looked edible, and then...
No, you didn't cook it.
Then I spit roasted it over
Over the fire.
with a harpoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the
Now,
bitterest thing you have ever tasted, Sandown. And it seems to be sapping life from you. You are going
It's not
to
very good.
your max HP is going to drop by 10 points.
Ugh.
So, not good?
A little spicy.
Spicy? I can't handle spice. You can eat the rest of the mushroom tree if you want.
Thank you. Maybe later.
Okay. Well, I guess at this point, we just need to go find more fruit and try to find anything that washed up on shore, try to find some wood.
Is
feeling
hunger
okay?
at least satiated in the slightest?
You got something in your stomach, which is nice.
All right.
I mean, did you eat that half of the fruit I gave you?
I think you did.
No.
No? Okay.
You should probably try eating that.
No. Not yet.
Yeah, if you say so. And then I guess I'm gonna start walking down the beach in the opposite direction from where the blood trail was.
So you're gonna go away from the trail, blood?
Well, because I just want to see what's on the other side as well.
You see
Right now.
it leads towards a hook on the other side, and it looks like it just goes out along the island.
Do I see anything that looks like it washed up on the shores as I'm looking down that way?
Not that you notice.
Yeah, okay. Guess our best bet is to try to follow those blood trails still.
Yeah, same.
So then we go back and start following those again.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you a while. However, after about an hour of walking, you see driven into the beach just randomly a trident. You immediately recognize it as belonging to one of the fishmen that came up on the shore. Oh, no, onto the boat with you.
Onto the ship.
Oh, I
It
wonder if
turned
this guy
out-
lost it.
Hear me out. Fish are
What?
filled with meat. Fishmen
Okay.
are part fish,
No.
which means they're filled with meat.
No.
Okay, fair. I walk over and I pull the trident out of the sand.
Yeah, I wonder if that guy lost that. Probably return it when it comes time to it.
Fair.
I'll just kind of sling the trident on my back, and I guess I have a trident now, temporarily.
Yep. And you'll start to move along. How long are y'all going adventuring for?
Couple hours.
Well, can we look up at the sun and kind of guesstimate what time it is?
The sun's currently not out, having set recently, so it's still pretty dark.
Oh.
But there's a big
Are you-
fuck-off moon.
You able to see well at all, Sandow?
Sandow can actually see decently well. Everything here is low light, because that moon is bright as shit for some reason.
Okay. Well,
It's also
do you want to...
pink.
It's pink?
Yeah, the moon is pink.
Oh no, the red moon. Sorry.
No,
the
that's
moon.
pink. That's pink. That's different. I think that's okay.
The magenta moon.
I don't know what that does to
Well,
werewolves, but
It
I
turns
wonder
them
if
gay.
Fenrir's okay.
Instead of great snarling beasts, they turn into Pomeranians.
It's probably true.
Okay. So do we want to keep following? Is there any more blood trail, or does it stop at the trident?
Keeps going.
Well,
I
as
want to
they
keep
say,
following.
tally ho. That has nothing to do with this, but let's go.
They do say that. Yeah, that's true.
And they do. They say that.
It
Who
takes
they are,
What?
I don't know.
My tongue hurts.
before, after a while, in the distance, up at the edge of the woods, you see the glow of a fire.
Considering the fact that we saw
okay.
one of the... Don't rush
I'm gonna-
towards the fire yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk unguarded. Be like, oh, okay, there's a fire.
Nope, stand out. I'm gonna place a hand on your shoulder and stop you. We
Yeah?
saw one of those fishermen's tridents on the beach.
Okay.
That could be more of them.
Okay.
Let's approach with caution.
All right, and then I'm gonna walk slower.
It's at that point you hear something running across the sand behind you.
I'm gonna turn around.
There is a small white missile coming down the beach in the form of a small dog.
Yes, I forgot. Loki was with us. Hey, Loki, and I step
He
down
goes
on it.
right
One
past you.
knee. Oh, what?
Doesn't even stop. He goes
Loki!
right by.
At this point, I completely disregard what I just said about being stealthy and start screaming, Loki, where are you going? Get back over here.
But I just fine. And I'm gonna I'm just gonna walk at the pace I was originally.
I just start running after Loki.
You'll hear crashes as Loki runs into something. As it
Loki,
looks
are
like
you
there was a
okay?
little campsite in which there was some kind of awning made that Loki just barreled into the stick of, not seeing it, dropping the tent on top of Fenrir. As Fenrir, your face is under attack.
Is my am I still bleeding out? I mean, there's not much I can do
This
if
has
I'm
been
bleeding
days
out in
since
this
then.
one.
You've mostly healed.
Oh, okay. I would have jumped up and probably hold him back, so I would have been trying to go for the hug.
You kind of woke up not really understanding what's going on because you were asleep. And you just suddenly, your face is wet, something on your chest, your stomach hurts, there's just all kinds of things, a lot of stimulus. Just knocking you out of a deep sleep.
Get up and try to figure out what's going on.
Loki ends up following with a thud before trying to whip around, kicking sand on top of Cassie as he attempts to lunge back at your face.
I probably would have been awake, but alright.
Uh,
Since I thought I was...
If I seen it coming, I wouldn't have tried to fight it. I would have just let it happen. I missed him.
Yeah, this was on Arcane's watch, who was just coming back after hearing what's going on, as she was a little bit closer to the woods. Arcane, you can see this going on. Fenrir, Cassie, you are both awake as well. There is a small missile of a dog, as well as two men running up.
Loki, what are you doing? Loki!
Oh, hey guys.
Get back over here!
Hey guys, how's it going?
Casual, just out of what's the word I'm looking for? Out of instinct, just to take out her weapons. She'll probably realize it's Loki, but she doesn't probably see the figure of the men too well at this point.
You're in
Depending
low light.
on where. Oh, like, yeah.
You have dark vision. You
Dark
see
vision,
fine.
yeah. But still, out of instinct.
You're
Getting
in
Instinctively slashed at my throat.
Oh, you just see a fucking cat holding two knives. Or a rapier and a short sword.
Ah, it's a werecat.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh, that must be what the pink moon does.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
By the way, guys, don't eat the mushrooms. They're not that good. I still gotta figure out how to make them edible.
I don't think you can at this point. We tried cooking it.
We
That's-
tried
that's
cooking
all
it
we
one
got.
way.
That's all we got. We tried cooking it. At
Did
this point,
you-
do we notice that it's them?
Oh yeah, you know.
I said, hey
Hey,
guys.
you guys are alive.
So they-
I assumed you guys were just dead.
I keep going at this rate, I will end up being dead. As I'm fighting with Loki on the ground, play wrestling.
So, you guys think this island's magic or something? I'm thinking it's magic.
Well, I mean, with the detect magic earlier, everything around here seemed magical.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was just focusing on survival. And have you found any other people besides us?
Oh, the whole
Oh,
ship crashed on the shore. We're all down there.
Oh, so we're not going. Alright, so we're not going nowhere. Okay.
Yeah, but you guys have beds now, which is nice. They might be a little sandy and salty and maybe wet. You guys have beds now.
Yeah, if you guys want to come with us back to the ship.
I mean, I just got up. I wouldn't mind maybe venturing a little bit out if everyone's okay. Or is there emergency run back?
Yeah, we're following this blood trail right now, and guys got a lot of blood. Whoever, whatever it is.
Speaking
look
of,
down
does the
where I
blood
was
trail
sleeping up?
end at their camp?
Yeah. Now that you look, it leads right to this bedroll y'all are standing next to. Or
How
bed spot.
curious. Did you happen to see
Well-
the person who had this bed prior?
Look at the giant hole in my chest. I'm like, no.
There's just the look at you too. She'll sheath the weapons, but she did ask the question. Venerer.
Oh, what was it? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
I'll just look in chat.
Can't see things. So.
Oh,
Am I an illusion?
uh,
No, just like
You think this is
delirium
an
type
illusion?
not
thing.
pretty good.
Oh, that's
No, she essentially was just confirming with Fenrir that she wasn't just seeing stuff, essentially.
So you think
Right.
we're not real? I walk over and I unarmed strike Cassie.
We're gonna get
Mage
decked.
voice coming in.
I'm gonna try to
Dude,
catch the punch.
I have -1 strength, so my unarmed strike does 0 damage.
Out of principle. Oh no, I thought you had that. Oh, because the -1 +1. Okay.
I do 0 damage with punching people.
It sounds like a wet slap.
Is that enough
Let's
to
see if
prove
he's
that we're
able to-
real?
Cassio will just pull in her hand so that she is not hitting you with her claws, and will just do a non-damaging melee strike. Yeah, I think you're real enough.
Oh, that did 41 damage.
Guys, this island's tearing us apart. Guys, stop.
Should probably go find Arcane though. Or
I
out of
just
character.
see
Is
in my-
Arcane like right
in-
there?
Arcane's right there.
Okay.
She was on watch.
Arcane,
In my head, I see him.
you're alive too.
Arcane would have already walked away.
Where's she
Oh.
going?
She's still trying to figure out. Like,
Where are you
she's been
going?
She's been trying to like kind of figure out more about like the mushroom forest and what else going on. So since nothing's come out while she's on watch, she doesn't wander too far away, but just a bit. And seeing that it's Sandow and Christopher, she'd probably just go back to looking around, figuring that they'll yell for her when they need her. Sandow has magic. He's fine. Like he can help.
That's true.
She's not far away. She's just back. So that's why I think she's been spending her watches doing like listening and then trying to see what she can figure out about like the mushrooms and where they are, because it just all seems weird to her knowing that there's some form of magic on the island.
So yeah, tomorrow, guys, I'm gonna try to go fishing. But
Oh,
I've
Fenrir
already
already
tried.
tried to do that.
I'm gonna try to swim out farther and then go fishing.
I mean, the merfolk tridents here, that might not be the best idea.
Wait, you took out Where did you
Tried
find
it
it?
is because of us.
Oh, and then I pull the trident off my back. Yeah, this was stabbed in the sand.
Yeah, I had it as a
Oh.
marker.
Oh,
There's
Well,
just
I
a
mean-
glare.
well, I mean, if you just follow the beach down that direction, and I point in like 4 different directions,
The
you'll get
sand-
to the ship.
Yes, but I had it as a marker for something else, and now the sand's probably shifted.
Well, if we look for where there's not a mushroom, then we could find the way, because there's not a mushroom somewhere.
I mean, it's a forest full of mushrooms. You chopped
Yeah.
one down.
Exactly, so we look where the one's missing.
How are we gonna look for it?
Well, we see the mushrooms, and where there's one there's not there,
Okay,
right? Is that
I guess that's a maybe.
right? You guys want to go back to the ship?
While
I'll let
that's
you go.
going on, Arcane, over at the edge of the woods, can I get a perception check?
You got this. Nat 20 coming right now. What did I
Arcane,
say?
It was.
Thank you.
That was
As
a
you're
crazy
sitting there.
prediction.
you've been keeping an eye out for days. Things have kind of calmed, and you've been seeing more growth very quickly grow from under the mushrooms now that a heavy rain has come. But as you're sitting there watching, You're almost certain you see a glow from deep within the woods, and the laughter of what sounds like a child.
There's a child.
You do not hear it.
This is all
Arcane
fair.
does.
We don't hear it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's faint.
Oh,
And-
kind of.
I know I see the glow and kind of know where it's coming from.
Deep in the wood, yeah.
Okay.
It's a
I
soft
think
blue light.
Arcane would probably loud enough for the group to hear, but not like yelling. Say, if y'all are done with whatever you're doing, talking about trying to find one missing mushroom on an island full of mushrooms, maybe you could come over here. I'm pretty sure there's something further in the forest. So if y'all want to come on over, I can point it out to you. And then if they come over, kind of just point to where that is and say, I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it sounds like a little kid's laughing in there.
Arcane, as you've been talking, you hear at least 3 other children.
Jane has nothing
Um,
for a weapon, but she would probably start assuming things not fully comfortable. She'd say, okay, well, there's more children laughing now, and I don't think that's normal. We haven't heard that yet. So, anybody else here see this?
Wait, there's children in the middle of the woods?
I gotta agree with Sandow there. Children in the middle of a mushroom woods laughing. Does
I
not
have
sound
to
like a
save
good
them.
omen.
They must be in danger.
No,
No,
Sandow.
I knew
and
it.
stop.
I'm going to start
Stand out.
walking
Arcane,
confident.
no,
Yes.
Arcane is going to literally grab your arm before you move anywhere and say, stop it. For once,
there's
you need
children.
to just go with what it. Stop it. Stop it. I said it sounds like children. That does not mean it is children. We are literally on an island with a freaking pink moon and pink sand and a land full of mushrooms, and we don't know what's going on besides there's magic here. For once, you're going to do something smart and you're going to listen to the people who can all work together. Now, Cassie, can anybody else hear this? I don't know if it is children or not. It's what it sounds like. And I hear at least 3 or 4 of them.
May I make a perception check?
Oh, when she points it out, you hear it.
Okay.
It's
I can
soft
definitely
and
hear it.
distant, but you can hear it.
Does it sound? So it sounds distant.
Yeah.
I can hear it too. It does sound distant in comparison to where we are. Do I see the glow though? She was talking about.
You do not. And it sounds like the children are getting further away. As within about 2 minutes, the sound is completely gone. As has the light for Arcane.
Well, on the plus side, if it's going further away, at least that means they're not coming to us.
On the negative, if they needed
Well-
help, couldn't be there.
If children are
It's
laughing, what makes you think they need help?
On top of that, it's word that
No
we've been
parental
out here
supervision.
Hang on.
Please
Go ahead,
let
Cody.
Fenrir talk.
I was like, on taking that note into consideration, it's weird that they chose to come to see us now when it's been weeks and we haven't had no interactions with anybody.
It doesn't sound like they were coming to see you, it's just they were passing somewhere in the woods.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it's weird that at the timing that we spent weeks looking and now it comes to it, that we hear
There
something. It's
There
just
was that
weird.
sound earlier on too, but since I don't have the marker and with the weather, I wouldn't be able to probably find where it was or any traces of it. But I think it was a different type of sound.
So,
Does
Wrestling.
Arcane still know? I say, does Arcane still, like, she'd know the area of where the light was?
yeah, you could since you haven't moved, you could probably follow it.
Okay. So she'd tell the party that I can get us over to where I saw and heard it, and we can take a look around all together, as long as Sandow doesn't try and go off on their own again.
All right.
I'll come with you then, Arcane.
I just have to
Are you
say,
good?
Yeah, I'm gonna come with you guys. I'm just gonna keep an eye on everybody as we're going through it, while they're looking. Keep an eye out on the woods or the forest of the mushrooms.
Arcane was trying to say something.
I was just gonna say Arcane would lead them there holding on to Sandow, which just above the table kind of makes me laugh because he's huge and she's very small. But she's got him like by the back of his arm, just leading him, kind of frustrated.
It's like a mom
Come
and
on
her
now, we'll get over
massive
there,
son.
look at it. Basically. If she
What?
could reach his ear, she would to pull him by that.
Sandow, bend down. It's the air. Time to go.
Okay.
But as y'all venture into the woods, the first time y'all are really delving into the mushroom foliage, that for today is where we're going to be ending it. That was a good session, you guys. I'm glad the party's back together. Sorry it took so long, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. For everybody listening in this week, I am glad you were here to join us to see just what happened in the aftermath of that shipwreck, and I hope you continue on to see what this island has hidden in store. Hope y'all have fun and a wonderful day. Peace.